Okay, Brandon, get in the car. Come on, let's go. This is the euro dollar trade I'm in. I bought a lot down here. That's the Nasdaq tick chart on the right. So my first target would be an illogical thing. This low on this Williams fractal. Also happens to be a deep down, deep low. Rock bottom. And I would say high probability that people are going to cash out there and all along the way, and they're cashing out right now, I'm sure. Because after this is the daily chart, after this beat down on the 4 hour, there was divergence, I'm sure, for somebody I know on RSI. Without looking at RSI, when I see a failure swing or I see a low like that, I count that as a buy. So I have to take this buy based on just the sheer timing of the market closing below this low. So if I didn't get filled on limits because I put buy limits below this Williams fractal, so I'm getting into the very rock bottom. It's a buy low, sell high game. I understand if you bought here and you got stopped out, that okay. But if you realize that as soon as the market goes down, takes a pause, here comes the continuation bots, right? This is a doji. If you go to the 1 hour chart, there's probably one rally. You're going to sell that rally. Just like anytime you get a chance to buy in a scream, if a market's screaming like this and it pulls back a little bit, after 1 hour, you have to pull the trigger. Okay? I don't care. You can't say, you just have to. I have to. Because I don't understand why, or what I'm going to do is, in that case, the market's going up, I'm running trailing buy limits. It's all about how you get in the market. It's not the trade, is it? Because, like, if you said I sold here and then it went here, but yeah, before it went there, it went up again. How underwater are you going to go? It's so funny that people are saying that martingale doesn't work. Well, sure it does. You don't want to think it's martingale. Like, you're going to buy more down here because of a lot of people are buying in here. And a lot of people are selling here they think it's going to keep going down. So all these things are, right? I mean, this to here, to there, to here. Now, these are not that many pips. You're only making 25 pips from here to here. And this trading system, this is working amazing. Oh, this channel I was in, oh, it's just beautiful. And then kaboom, what the hell's that? And then it just stalled out here. And what the hell is going on? How do you make money trading this shit? Look at this, like a mini version. This is a mini version of this. Yeah, I see the pattern now. Look how cute this is. Oh, Sunday night. Oh, all of a sudden, swoosh. Doesn't even make it back to this floor. That doesn't happen either all the time. It's so stupid to put any kind of... How can you teach this to somebody? You can't. What you have to say to somebody is, what I have to say to myself, I would say to anybody, if you have to buy low or you have to buy now when the market goes up, so you must have bought low because the market went up and then you sold. This is how stupid the thing. It's that. That's your goal. To find a situation where you can consistently, or I wouldn't say consistently, but do it enough times. Actually, you need volume. You need volume because you need to have fuck ups. You're going to have a fuck up. So, a majority of your trades, I wouldn't say you're a consistent trader because you're going to lose. Well, you're losing the moment you pull the trigger because you're down at least the commissions, if not the spread. So you're in a loss right away. So if the market's volatile, you have to change your tactics. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to trade that market. You're waiting for the so-called setup on the daily charts because you're a no-nonsense forex trader that has built a moving average algorithm system. And those work. But if you're a day trader, you can't wait for a setup on the daily 21 moving average with a 55 moving average, a linear weighted exponential crossover system with RSI as your final arbiter, whether it's overbought or oversold because you're in a trend and you establish a trend and all this harebrained stuff, And you're going to have to dial in really big on this one trade because you haven't fucking traded in like 7 days. So now you've really got, this has got to be, this trade should work. I went to school, I've been studying with ICT too. If ICT is really claiming he's a day trader, if that's the case, then it's really difficult to sell people on trading. I think if you have if you're trying to so-called trade for a living, and what you do now is takes more time. Like the idea that if you were trading for a living, you'd be a day trader, but you wouldn't have to do that if you just swung traded. I mean, you buy something, you put a limit grids in 20 pips apart all week long. Some fucking market drops. You don't even know what a chart is. You know what a Gartley pattern is. Market drops, hits your tickets. Okay, you're down $300 on the week. You're running $300. You're running $30 stops. You're risking $20 a trade. You have a 200 pip stop. That's what I suggest. I mean, I don't know what the frequency that people want to pull the trigger. So every time somebody says, well, what's a good risk? What's this guy asking? Do a video on risk management. How not to blow up the account using this method. Yeah. So you're in this method of limit entry, you really are saying, okay, that ticket could be blown out, and they just do the math on that one ticket. So that would be $20. If they take out that top ticket, I'm done 20. If you put a master stop in down here, so you say I will buy from here to here, and when it gets to here, it's going to blow the stop out. This last ticket's only costing you, so it's like, the first ticket's going to cost you $20. Next one's $15. 5 pips apart. And you just all the way down. And then you just, okay, that's what it's going to cost. But that is completely different than trading no-nonsense trading. What you're doing there is you built this system that's going to try to average out all the data and give you a trend, and then you need some type of candle pattern trigger. Typically, it doesn't have to be that, but typically you're looking for some type of counter move, a pullback in the trend, and you're going to use Fibonacci, or you're going to use and why you're using Fibonacci is because the ratio is favorable to high profits. It's not because there's anything magical about 618. It's just the fact that you're getting a 62% sell-off. Things are on sale for 60% off. Better than 50. Oh, I'll take that. Because you can plot it on the chart. I don't know. It's cheaper price. So I'm using Fibonacci here to show the entry of 5 tickets at different prices. So that's what we're going to do. I'll take Fibonacci and use it for entry for risk management. Presupposing you are going to wait for the whole Fibonacci sequence to unfold where you do risk 62% to make 400%. Because you're going to do the Fibonacci the way you're supposed to do it, you have to use, like anything else, well, scaling. You got to use them all. There's not just one Fibonacci law. You're going to run like, I'd say 20 fibs. Because really all you're trying to do is use that good ratio. Oh, looks nice breakout. So it looks like a big rally coming for the stocks and the euro. If the euro comes back to here, I'm out. That's where I'm getting out. Cashing out right there. Then I come back. Put the limits in again. Rinse and repeat. Right now, I would put some limits in, but I'm already in. So when I think I'm in too big, I'm just going to sit back and I got stops down here, but they go about 30 pips down from the low. But they're all different levels. Some are the same. I don't like to repeat the stop. I like to have a cushion. Another way not to blow up the account, so to speak, is to not is to have a diversity. You have swings in there, but you can't swing the whole account if it's not big enough, and you have to gauge that. I suppose it's like anything else. How many items can you put on a truck and get it down the road without it being too unstable? There's a limit. Certainly a trucker knows how much you can put on a truck. And if the account can't handle it, yeah, that's a problem. But how many accounts do you have? What's the size of your account? Does so-called blowing up your account bother you when the account is $5 million? Now, that might bother you. You might be like if somebody said, yeah, I blew up my forex account. Really, how much you have in there? No, it's completely different. And I know I've met people that have said, well, I $63,000. There was a guy I was talking to on Discord. I won't say talking, but typing. I didn't know if he was joking, but he said that he lost $63,000, and I was like, wow, you must have a good job where you must make like $1 million a year in your day job then, right? You always wonder what that ratio is. That's got to be something else. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. We have to go back and take another nap. Us old people, we take naps like fucking every 10 minutes. Like just fucking narcoleptic, just drop over. But there should be a ruckus beginning to the week here. I think that euro's going to retrace on me. We'll make some money here. But yeah, when that euro fell out of bed there, man, I martingaled in, I must tell you. Tell no lie. I martingaled right. I'm getting a nice top bottom. Nice top bottom there in that Nasdaq. She's crawling up she's on an uptrend. She's a breaking out. It's like a breakout case. It's like COVID-9. Niner. It's going to be the, what strain are we up to? It's the 4th iteration of the variant. It's in an uptrend, can't you see? I'm a trend trader. If it's going my way, I'm a trend trader. That's how you know you're a trend trader. Price action. I'm not a price action trend trader. It's so funny because all you have to do is do some hashtag or whatever that when you put little tags on your videos, just use every word. Let's see what you do that. Price action. I'm a Gartley price action trader. Really? Oh, really? I used to be that. Before I was a moving average trader. I like the directional. Somebody's asking me, we were talking about the average directional moving index, and this guy in the Discord a while ago he's like, yeah, I'm trading with that. And I'm like, wow, I don't know what to say. Open mic with this guy, I don't know what to say. Because I was like, man, I looked at that once and I go, I can't get my brain around that to save my life. It was 3 lines that I thought one of them was kind of redundant. I thought, well, do we need to have both those? If they're going to be a mirror image, could we just cut out one of those lines? Okay, 3 o'clock in the morning. Euro's about to bust, take out this fractal. We're cheering it on across the line to $1.20. I made $1.12 for a euro. So quite the beatdown. Definitely smashed under the table. Make it back to this. Take out that fractal and make it back to here. This is my near-term target. The rooftop here at 112. Then it has to take out. So the supply zones for me are here. It's very obvious. It's not rocket science. You don't need to see. Here's the stops that we're taking. Here's the first breakout. Look at, not a higher high per bar by bar, not this swing high, swing low shit. We're talking just if you just trail, if your robot's trailing a stop, he's short. He keeps. Oh, and then here he gets cashed out. Everything that he sold on a stop entry. So on a pure stop bot entry, no, I just switched to stop entry, but hopefully you play along. I'm just saying that for the do patterns work? Yes, because here's a triangle, right? Here's a triangle. It keeps breaking out, but then when it breaks out of this, holy shit! And there's a hole. There's an abyss here, a mind-blowing abyss, right? And we crush it. This takes out a low from last year in the middle of nowhere from a lonely wick, and then kaboosh. First dead cat bounce. Not a perfect top bottom, but now we want to take this out, go to here, cash out, and then all the way cash. So the cash out start above here. So kind of greedy. You should really be selling above here, though. If you're really in heavy, I would start cashing out there. Then there'll be plenty of opportunities. Once we hit this level, the sellers will come in, and we can put buy limits in, and then we can trend trade it. You know, I'm all about trend trading once the reversal kicks in, but the range trading is always, even in the so-called trend trade, the range traders are making money if you know how to range trade it. But this is 25 pips from here to here, and you just have to figure, so how much money is it costing you if you buy with the 25 pip stop? So you're going to buy a standard lot. That's $250. One standard lot here, but what if you could buy 3 standard lots and risk $700? And when right now you cashed out of 1 already, right? So you made 500. Let's come back in and do it all over again. Or you could have bought here. If you dump this one, so you got this 4-hour chart. You got plenty of time to even put a buy limit here. Look at him crush that Nasdaq. That Nasdaq's vicious. Look at that thing, man. You got to have your finger on the trigger. So here I would have buy limits in front of that. It's so vicious. Take advantage of the fact that it's dropping so hard. So the market's in your favor here. The market's going to help you. If you put sell limits up here, this is the whole week. Can you make it here by the end of the week? Does that look realistic? Or are you just cashing out right now? I certainly would be. You know, if I was trying to take profits, I cash out right now. If I wanted to just say, you know what, this is good because they're going to open, U.S. markets are going to open, let's just get out right now, boom. Right? Because you still got 4 hours before. Or is it going to bust across the border? So people are selling right now that euro, cashing out. You can see it. Or do you hold for the whole ride up? So you go to the 1 hour chart. See, sellers right there. Why are they selling? And why is the market backing off? Because this zone was just tagged. There's a little baby vacuum up there. And this has been marching up a nice 5 hour. This is like a 5 hour trend. And that's a whole trade in itself there. Yeah, those people are out. Anybody that's buying on dips here, buy. It crushes through this vacuum. Slow walk up, cash out. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Just get the fuck out because by 4, we'll probably be cutting back into this. So you could have cashed out everything here, put buy limits in, but what if it doesn't come back? Right? So you really are saying, I'm just going to hold on to it. Because if we take this out, we run to the border where the doji is. Just being the beginning of my cash outs. Should be cashing out on the way there. And it all depends how much you bought. If you bought $1 zillion here at 5 p.m. and now it's almost been 10 hours and you just made this much money, I would get out. If I was in that big of a position, it'd just be a no-brainer. Like, right, Europe's open, let's just get out. Europe open. And if you were in that big, you could afford right now to buy a little bit right now. Buy a little bit and put monster limits in. Now you space them differently. That's how you do it. So you kind of come back different every time. The market comes back different every time. It's another martial art thing. Always come back different. If you're a martial artist, you got to come back different. You can't come back the same. You can't say as you were. You can't have taglines like that. In martial arts, that's not martial art, man. Martial art is different every time. So you don't know what the fuck I'm doing. What an idiot. Right? What a Clyde Crash Cup. And Leonardo. That's what I cut my teeth on, that logic. Back to the drawing board. Clyde Crash Cup. My hero. So, buying zone this morning. Uh-oh. Are we too close to the border? Are we going to pop this and rip? That is the question. Look at this nice little marching, like trying to sneak to the border. Yeah, make it to the border, man. Gotta jump across, see? Gotta jump that creek, man. So it's a little hard to, when people get in their head that there's this pattern they're looking for, and they're like, is this like that accumulation? Is this the Wyckoff? Did they jump the creek yet? It's too much. I just say, let's look at this void. Let's look at this. Do a top bottom trades. Top becomes a bottom. This is the first break of this. You're supposed to buy and pull back to that, but it overshoots. And right, Look at this nice Nasdaq rally. See, we would have got filled on limits here. We didn't have to buy in the market. We could throw limits in front of that. I did that in a live trade. One time I did that Nasdaq trading. I wrote scripts for it. It was like being in a it's like pinball wizard kind of trading. You really got to be quick on the draw. So it looks like we're going to go uppity up, and I'm going to go take a nap about it. We are not snipers. We are swing traders. If you're a swing trader or a trend trader, which is kind of the same thing, you have to wait to get paid. You have to wait about 8 hours, 8 days. If you're going to be in there for 2 hours, that's a good trade. A lot of the trades I did when I was doing the demo trading and my performances, based on the ratios I built that last video, and I documented all that stuff. I don't know what people are talking about. I mean, I actually have screenshots of it, talk about what's going to happen there. Even this trade, but this trade I'm in. Okay, I'm in this trade. But that doesn't mean this trade's going to be the last trade I do. I don't understand the not understanding. And people have made money trading giant swings in the market. And when you say blow up an account, it typically means the market moved really, really far against you, or you were in so big it didn't have to move very far. It's the difference between you stalking the market. Okay, these people that are saying, okay, right now, I'm waiting for this to break out so I can buy. It breaks out, and then I'll know it's really going up, and when it pulls back, then I'll buy. And I'm saying, you should be long right now, watching it break out, and saying, should I start getting out of this thing? It's because I'm just thinking, like most things I've seen, they start off really good and they go bad. So if I feel like it's going my way, I'm like, when is this going to be over? Like they're just about to break it. I can't see because it's stupid. I think they broke out. Right, so it took out the high. Before I figure it's already as soon as a relationship. In fact, just before you get married, I think you should just break up. That's probably the best way to go on that. Why ruin a good thing? It's much more romantic, the thought of getting married than being married, I think. So we just kind of neck the wick there, kind of trap people. Go to the trusty 5-minute chart. So yeah, they just nicked the wick there. Is that a real breakout or a fake out? It says trap. Nasdaq's smashing through the top of the tick chart. Well, looks like everybody's all aboard. So we're either going to make a run up into the opening of stock markets, or we're making a run down from here. This is a big fork in the road. The Bitcoin's surviving. Bought down here. Bought some Bitcoins down here. Exit's going to be in this floor. It's 41 grand. This is nice top bottom on the daily. Here's your daily setups. So you got to wait for shit like this. You trade that daily stuff. Got top bottom on the daily. Hey Joe, should we get in there? Yeah, let's buy some Bitcoin. Any close below this? Any real Bitcoinologist is buying. They bought this bar, they bought this, they bought, then they bought this one, and this one, and this one. So they should be in about that much. The real bulls are in that big, that many tickets. You really have to be. It's not a choice, right? Once you build these systems, you got to do them. That's a discipline part, I guess. The robot's gonna pull it off. I don't think the robot could see these trades though. It'd take too long to tell the robot what to do and what not to do in these situations. On the daily chart, you don't need a robot. You need a robot for the 5-minute chart. Something while you're sleeping, it can do some. You can see an opportunity on a 5-minute chart, but for God's sakes, on a daily chart, really, who builds a robot to trade the dailies? It's just like on the daily, sell, buy. It's just like a real market as far as that goes. And the occasional mind-blowing wick. At that point, the news is pretty crazy. All the way back. Amazing. Look at this wick. People lost their mind there. Somebody got stopped out. Ooh, look at that. Here she comes. Here she comes. A little over that. Well, that news came out. Oh, by the FOMC. Oh, they're going to raise the interest rates. Oh, boy. Well, this should crush the dollar. All right, she's taking off. She's on a roll. Euro be going up after I loaded the wagon again. Another wagon load on Friday. That is white knuckle. It's just such a capitulation. I didn't really think it's a completely different pattern than it's such a blow off. Instead of a blow off top, it's like a blowout bottom on the euro. It's such an unsustainable sell off rate. There's the 15. It's half 15, 30 minute, 1 hour. This is quite a different step here. If you're looking at this chart, it's different than this chart. Then there's the 4 hour, and you're like, holy shit. You look at the daily. Here's my Fibonacci entry risk tool. Put your first order at the 100, and you put a master stop down here at 0. So you buy every handle you buy here. In essence, this is a martingale entry. You're going to buy here, you're going to buy here, you're going to buy here, here, here. And you have a master stop here. So stop for all these tickets. This, in a, I guess a classic way, this ticket gets out here, takes profits. This one takes profits here. This one takes profits here. Oh, no, wait. No, that's wrong. We have 5 entries. We need to have 5 exits. So we're going to get out. The bottom one's going to be a scalp. This guy gets out here. And this one gets out here. And this one gets out here. And this one gets out here. Okay. So that's how you would have mind-blowing ratios. And every time you scrunch that tool, you determine your entry window. So if you're going to buy say a 25 pip window, it's going to look like this. This is your first entry. This is your last entry here. And your stop's going to be sitting outside of that. Oh shit, wait. Bring this over. Okay. So you would have bought, you buy at the 100 level. You have a master stop down here. And you got filled on One here and two deep. So you really had a I can't get to the proper so what did you do wrong there, so to speak? Because here's where the risk, you have to narrow your entry window because it's $. So you had to buy, for that to be a perfect trade without getting stopped out, you bought like that, right? That is the Fibonacci entry. But see how this is a rinse and repeat. Well, you could have got in all these tickets. You're buying at the 100. See how that works? You're buying at the 100. Here's your master stop. They never take you out. You still haven't hit this target. So the question is, do you wait for that? Now you cashed out all these other guys. This one got out. So this is like this for ratio, this is just to show you that how much you're going to make, 4 times your money, 5 times your money and stuff. You buy here, you're out of this ticket at the 100, right? So it's your constant scalper. That would be your one ticket system. You're always buying here, your stop is here, and your target's here. You can move that around your screen. But what I'm saying is that if you put in 10 of these, it's going to look like, your entries look like, this is what my trade looks like. And I have different ratios. I have bad ratios too, because I want to take profits on some of these tickets. So if I take this and do another fib, I'm using it because it's offset from 50%. The whole golden ratio thing is not, it's not the importance. The importance is that it's a good ratio. You can lose many times and still make money. So if I put in one that has a wider stop, so here I do have the 25 pip entry window. We're going to buy the 100. We're going to buy all the way to the 23.6. And this one's going to start buying below this low. So this is what I'm doing, buying all these tickets. And see, the exits here are for the deep. You have to wait for this whole thing to play out. As the patience of, I suppose, waiting for the thing to get filled. But if you front run the market, so if these tickets only last for I don't know how much time, but the market's dropping, you're throwing this out. This is completely different than if you throw out a script like this that's trying to scalp, right? You see, that scalp's over. You bought in a tight window here, and you're out of that trade. So these are all trades. Otherwise, what's the point of Fibonacci? If you're not going to place your tickets on these fucking handles, why do people even mess with this stuff? I don't know. People do speculate that, okay, but you never see a guy go, oh, dude, load every handle. Of course, load every fib. Climb every mountain, okay? Load every fib. The sound of pips. The hills are alive with the sound of pips. And you're going to get stopped out of these ones like this. In a volatile market, if you're on a trade plan like this, yeah, I don't want to risk too much, so right, you're already out of that trade totally. Look at, if you put in, this is what I'm doing. Here's a 5K, there's 10K. It's really hard to blow up the account if you are very far away. Like, if all your ratios are this good, you'll just get nickel and dime to death. I don't think you blow it up. You might bleed it to death. Blow up the account makes it sound like, well, in 40 seconds, the account's gone, kaboom, like this high velocity explosion. But imagine you put in tickets like, I'm just going to risk 10 pips, All right, here, you probably didn't even buy enough. Every time you change this ratio of 5, so there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 20K. You're in 20K. Like, every time you do one of these. Right? This is amazing. You don't need to be precise. You've got all these different... here's another 5K bank. And this one you put somewhere else. Another currency. I'll take another thing. All there is trade plans with good ratios. That's all this is. Where do you put it on the chart, though? Right, where does it go? Coming up to my first target. So it's in the seller's window. The sellers are coming in now. We could cash out right now. Anywhere in here, I'm good cashing out. Anyways, that's that. I'm taking a nap. I've had it. I can't watch this no more. It's almost 3:30 in the morning. God damn it. I got to put a lid on it.